Youth Council, I'm going to need y'all to get real loud in just a moment. We've got a special guest that I'm so thrilled to introduce. Some call him Coach, some call him Governor, but we're all going to call him the next Vice President of the United States, Governor Tim Walz.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 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 Feels like 6th hour right after lunch. Here we go. Mr. Chair, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your vision. To each and every one of you, thank you for believing in this country. You heard me say this. One of my biggest fears is that the poisonous politics that you've grown up witnessing turns into cynicism for you. And there's nothing worse, because the promise of our country truly in this room, it's not a cliche. Those of us who teach, we know that we impact the future. And there's nothing more gratifying than to provide the tools and the necessary for you to thrive, but for this generation, as you've been doing it, stepping up and taking the leadership. Look, we have issues we have to solve. And I keep talking about this. The issue around climate change, you need to take a role in this. You know why? I'll be dead long before the impact feels to you. And this generation that doesn't think they need to do a damn thing, you and your kids are going to feel the brunt of it if we don't attack it. So I said, if they're asking why should the youth be involved in these, because every issue we make, whether it's about protecting the democracy, whether it's around climate, or whether it's around how do we make sure, and I just want to be clear about this, the generation that came before me invested in my generation. So people saying now, why should we do student loan repayments? Because we didn't have to get them because the cost wasn't so damn expensive on the front end. When I graduated high school, you could have taken a minimum wage job in the summer and paid the tuition cost at the University of Minnesota for a year. So the economics of this are upside down. And when they gave student loans, they were guaranteed with low or no interest, instead of farming them out for personal profit to banks, to corporate profits on the back of education. So for all of you, all the issues that impact you, all of the issues that matter, being engaged in this. And look, part of the plan of some folks is to make you cynical, make you believe it doesn't matter. But somebody asked me, I'm a 40-something high school teacher, no money, no political experience, and it was my students got me engaged. And the next thing, be careful with this, because the next thing you know, you're a vice presidential nominee on this, because that's the way it happens. So I don't have a family in this. I don't have a federal judge in my family. I'm just like so many of us. I'm grateful for a country that gave me an opportunity to get a great public school education, go to a great public university. And for so many of these things, it's our party that let's take back some of these things. We're the party of freedom. We're the party that loves this country. You don't get to stand in front of a flag and then crap all over the country. You stand in front of the flag, and that flag means you say it, it's in the Pledge of Allegiance, justice and liberty for all, for everyone, this inclusion. So you've heard me say it a little bit. The obsession these folks have with being in your exam room and telling women that they know more about their health care than anyone else, or telling us about our families, or the idea of being in your bedroom and telling you who can you love, or the idea that they'll tell you what books to read or whatever, none of that is freedom. None of that is freedom. And you hear me say this, and I'll continue to say it. I pointed out to them, and they're really sad about it, so they hit me every day on something. That's just weird behavior to do that. They're just too excessive. It's not them, it's the behavior. And I also say this a lot. You know how things work best, and your generation knows this? You do you, I'll do me, and mind your own damn business. That's the only thing it needs to be. In Minnesota, we believe it. In Minnesota, we believe it. Every child that comes to school in Minnesota, we don't have lunch tickets. We don't have any of that crap. Everybody gets breakfast and lunch. Everybody together. Kamala Harris believes in this. She talks about it every day. Talks about making college affordable. In Minnesota, if your family makes less than $80,000 a year, you go to school free in Minnesota to get a college education. And I don't promote it with my children, but when you're 21, you make your own decisions. If you're going to burn a blunt on the weekend, you do it. Those are the things you do. I don't pick your vision. That is what adults do. That is what a fair society does. Our job is to build the roads, make sure you have health care, make sure you have the opportunity to succeed, make sure that we're paying a fair wage, make sure that you can have comfort when you get to a point where you can retire like your parents and grandparents to have a defined benefit pension plan. So look, this is the fight of a lifetime. This is the one where you should, and I know you do, this is a privilege to be in this fight. It's a pain in the butt to have to do some of this. It's a lot of extra work. But it's a privilege. I guarantee you, the stories that you will tell and your generation will tell, because look, this thing's going to be close. It is going to be closer than it should be. It's going to be won in the trenches. It's going to be won by your demographic for the most part. If we can turn you out and get you to vote, that's how it's going to be done. And it'll be you who elected the first woman president of the United States. It'll be you that protected women's reproductive rights. It'll be you that said this democracy's worth fighting for. And when do you get a chance in 77 days, to make a mark on generations to come globally? When do you get to make a mark that stands up for people who don't have a voice against the most powerful and the richest? When do you get a chance to say, we're not only going to be listened to, we're going to start leading and making the decisions? This is what's happening right now. And I've been saying it. You've got all the energies. You can go on dew and pizza for 77 days. Sleep when you're dead. Sleep when you're dead. Not now. Not now. Let's win this thing. Thank you all.
Thank you.